This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 60.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wildcard Weekend on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota.
But seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at US Bank Stadium. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Throwing to start the drive. Fields. He completes it to Evans. 11 yards and a Panther first down. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved. Able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
Anthony Barr in on the tackle. And here now the offense for Carolina.
And what a tough environment to roll into. On the road, playing one of the better teams in the league, obviously, because this is the playoffs. So what do teams talk about? Bringing their own momentum, bringing their own energy on the road, because you know you won't get any from the home crowd.
Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From the gun on third down. Fields. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
He wants it all for the end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and 3rd pick in the 2018 draft.
Mike, 54 Mike. Check. Watch 54.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
So many weapons on this offense, and we've seen them all season long score from any point on the field. But we all know playoff football comes down to playing smart. The game slows down, and it's harder to move it. So you've got to avoid penalties, avoid turnovers, and not let your emotions get the best of you.
From the 30 on second down, Darnold going deep. It got his man complete. It's a gain of 35.
A Hall of Fame coach once said, there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or two. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here are your defensive starters for the Panthers. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I would have loved to have been in their meetings this week and hear that grizzled old defensive coordinator talk about, well, you did okay, guys. We did all right. Holding them to 13 was pretty good, but this week, I expected to be less than that.
I'm going to need to hear that a lot more often. I don't know what it was, but I liked it. On 2nd and 9, Darnold. It's complete to Diggs. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He'll have a first down inside the 10, and all the way down to the 5. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
54 Mike. Check. Watch 54. And 80.
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and goal. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Watch safety 3. And 80. Safety 3.
To throw is Darnold. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab, and the Vikings have taken the lead. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You have a lot to handle in this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January, but there's 20 other teams who wouldn't mind being on that road.
You're exactly right about that. But your point about how daunting this is well taken, because it all depends on their mindset now. How do you break it down so that you're not looking at this whole big road and say to yourself, we've got no shot? You break it down to this game right now, win that one, then worry about the rest of them after that.
And that's exactly right, and the staff told us that. They've been focusing with the players on don't look ahead, but that's hard to do sometimes, is it not?
It is hard to do because the ultimate goal is to do what? Is to win a Super Bowl. So you have to look ahead a little bit, but you make sure you focus on the game at hand.
They'll run on first down. Hunt. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get inside. Let's go.
And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round, they told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Saquon Barkley. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down.
That's what I do.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. Man open, it's Moss, complete. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the 1st. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3. Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Darnold completes it. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. And he is finally going to be brought down, but not before he gets it to the Panthers' 20. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Another try after the 1st down sack. Darnold forced out to his left. And Diggs has it. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. 5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it first and 10. On first down, Fields. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score. And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
The Panthers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And he's racking up the yardage. You see the catches. And defensively, what do you do here to stop a guy like this?
You keep trying to change things up because nothing is really working. Whether you have a man on him, 2 people, you're showing different types of zone defenses combined with man-to-man coverages. Try and change things up and eventually get to the point where maybe you put enough people on it, they won't throw the ball to him anymore.
They go play action here on first down. The left side caught by Diggs. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And down he goes just beyond the 35, but that pretty move got him some extra space to run. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Darren Lee coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. The throw right sideline here is complete. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Check 26, check 26.
On 3rd and 2, Fields. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 18. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. On 1st and 10, Darnold, and he rifles one incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Darnold gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC Wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. This is the 4th and final game here on this Wildcard weekend. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's NFC Wildcard game. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's action.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Here's Darnold. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
I'm here. Yo, 80. I'm here.
Play action. It's Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Hey, check. 3 down. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Let's go, baby. Turnover. Get that ball. Yo, 80. Get that ball.
Now it's Darnold. Going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. On 1st and 10, Fields going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson, and nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college. Our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Right there. 54 Mike. Let's go, defense.
Back to throw, Darnold. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Jadeveon Clowney picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Going right side here, and that's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that'll push the lead up to 17. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. The run there on 1st down, going to get him 5 up to the 30. Darren Lee there to get him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll run again with Hunt. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Fields. That's caught by Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel, and unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and, again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Darnold. And his throw here is incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. 87 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. But look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division. But they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game. A message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
2nd and 13. He finds Howard complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
4th down now after a loss of 2.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And this will be taken at the 13. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2. Alert for anything out there. Watching for trouble on the road. And making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll get to the 29-yard line. Brought down there. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold connects here with a tight end, Blake Jarwin. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
From the 31, Darnold. They'll roll him out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had good success. 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Darnold now to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's a 2nd and 7. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Back to throw. Fields. He's got Evans. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. 2nd and 4. They almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and To be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Fields completes it to Samuel. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 18. It's a Carolina 1st down. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 at the 19. Back to throw. Fields gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Fields. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
He'll get it to the 40. Sweet little move in there, but couldn't get much yardage out of it. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them 1 step closer.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaughan. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long.